So now we're at the last game for our Halloween special of game reviews for the month of October. This one is it's not really much of a game, actually. I mean, you can still play it, but it's not exactly a full game. It's not something you pay for. It's not something you get achievements or trophies for. It's just a little teaser that the company decided to release to kind of announce their new game in the works. This one is called PT. It was released in August, I believe. It is a teaser for the upcoming Silent Hills game. I chose this as the last game for October because Silent Hills has officially been announced that it will release exactly 2 years from now, or from Halloween, because it's going to release on Halloween 2016. This is a great game to play if you want to scare yourself and soil your pants, if you may, because the atmosphere is beautiful, it's very haunting, and the game is actually full of jump scares that are triggered just at the right time, actually. Like, they're perfectly timed. They're not random. Like, you get that feeling of like something's about to happen and it doesn't, and all of a sudden when you feel safe that it didn't happen, that's when it happens. And that's exactly what defines a horror game like PT. So PT stands for playable teaser, which is just a teaser for Silent Hills. It's not what the final product will be, but if you do play this game, it is absolutely terrifying. It is a first-person, almost no interactions. You could press X every now and then. You could click on the right stick just to zoom in, and then all the rest is just moving with the left stick, looking around with the right stick. That's all there is to the game. And if you do it properly, you can actually beat the game in about 40 minutes. But if you're playing it for the first time, you have no idea what you're doing, it could take an infinite amount of hours to beat, because it is really a well-crafted riddle that the developers behind Silent Hills decided to work on. So PT is from the works of Hideo Kojima from the Metal Gear Solid series and Guillermo del Toro, who is a very well-known director. He made Pan's Labyrinth and Pacific Rim and many other titles. And it's really interesting to see what could they possibly create with Silent Hills, because especially from what we've seen in PT. The graphics are amazing. They really add to the atmosphere. The game looks beautiful. I'm pretty sure this is what the final product will look like, Silent Hills, but it's not going to be the same gameplay, that's obvious. But the graphics are beautiful, as I said. It really adds to the realism, to the immersion that you could put yourself in while playing the game. And it's a great game to play in the dark with a headset on, so you could focus on the game itself. And man, it is just horrifying. The game is running on the Fox engine, which is what Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain will be running on. It is a newly crafted engine for the new generation of consoles. And it's kind of funny because Hideo Kojima said that himself, that the Fox engine was built for open world, so that might hint at the next Silent Hills being open world. But that's not the topic over here. We're talking about PT. But either way, it still runs on the Fox engine, which is really great. It makes the game look beautiful, and even though it's set in the same hallway over and over again, like, the amount of detail is amazing. Like, the rubbish on the floor, the rubble, and all these like wrappers of candy, particles of dust, like everything on the floor was visible. It was a really great amount of detail that they put towards every little piece of fragments on the ground in the game. The sound quality is amazing. There are lots of parts in the game where you have to rely on the sound, because some puzzles are triggered by what you hear, and the amount of detail they put in the sound effects is amazing. There's babies' cries, there are drips of blood from the ceiling, and it's also cool because the game is actually omnidirectional, so you could tell what direction it's coming from, where is it coming from. And in a game like PT or Silent Hills, it'll be really useful because most of the puzzles rely on your sense of hearing and your vision too. It's a great pick for Halloween because it's a game that is absolutely terrifying. And honestly, in the past few months of video games, this is the one that really made me jump out of my seat because of how terrifying it was. It's not like ridiculously bloody or anything like that. It's just the setting of the game and the whole idea that you're being haunted and anything could happen in a matter of seconds within the game is really dreading, because some points in the game are triggered by your actions. So there's a jump scare you could get, which is possibly the worst jump scare in the game, if you listen to something on the radio and you don't obey, or if you obey what he says. Also, there are some points in the game where you have to do something and then there will be something that will pop up and you look around you, you'll find something or someone, and that's another thing that adds to the scare factor of the game. And this is probably my top pick for Halloween because, as I said, it is the most terrifying experience I've had in the past months. I haven't played anything that scary, but this is the one that really steals the ball. And PT is a great segue to the next Silent Hills, and I really can't wait for the next Silent Hills. Silent Hills will be probably even more terrifying than this, which I'm really looking forward to. That's our last pick for our Halloween special. I hope you try out each game that I mentioned, and happy haunting.